Morning, grade 2. Time for math and some of our science and social studies work together here. I'm going to start by talking about science and social studies. First of all, for science, if you haven't already done so, you remember that you had this weather page here. And so I need you to fill out the back. And it's just asking a question, was the weather that you did your weather reports for, was it the same or different? And then write a sentence or two about the weather that you saw on while you were doing your weather reports or keeping your weather graph so that you can explain that a little bit. Was your weather always the same or was it different? I know a couple of you have mentioned you didn't have this sheet. You can either write it on your own piece of paper or you can wait. This next week I'll be giving you more pages to be able to keep going with math and some of our other work. And so I can include that for anyone who's missing it. All right. And then remember you wanted to start working on the space packet. All right. So if you haven't already done that, work on that, reading about the phases of the moon and some other things from outer space. Try the upside down chair drink, and then you have some work to do on the bottom. If you would send me a copy of this a picture of this when you get it finished, that would be great too. And also on the weather one, send me a picture of that too. Okay, we should be all finished now with American cultures. Some of you have already completed the back and sent me a picture of that. If you haven't already done so, will you please do that as well? Okay. And then our next one coming up would be government. If you've already started working on it, that's just fine. Otherwise, beginning of the week, go ahead and read through it and do the work that's on the back and then show me a picture of that. Okay. We'll be a little bit relaxed on that one. Alrighty. And don't worry about starting your work on the sun quite yet for science either, okay? We'll start that next week. As far as spelling words, if you did not remember to take a test on the moon yet this week, make sure you go to spellingcity.com and take a test on that. If you feel you didn't do very well and you want to try again, go ahead and try again with that, or have mom or dad give you a test and have them send me the results just on pencil and paper. Either way is fine, okay? You will get new spelling words. I'll be doing that sometime over the weekend here or maybe later today. And you don't need to worry about them today, but you could write them in your assignment book and I'll explain a little bit more about how we're going to be doing our reading class in the future here for a little while. Okay, and now let's talk math. So for math today, we're going to talk about lines and line segments, and then specifically parallel lines. Now remember, if you talk about just a line, you truly are talking about something that goes forever. And we show that in math by making an arrow at each end, right? That goes on forever. A line segment has a definite start and a definite stop, okay? Now, what do parallel lines do? I know you've heard me talk about parallel lines before. Parallel lines are a set of lines that can continue on forever and will never meet. Think about railroad tracks, okay? A set of railroad tracks. They would go on forever and never meet. Or if we pretend these two L's, if I had done them perfectly straight, if those two L's in the word parallel would keep going on forever and ever in either direction, they would never touch, okay? They would never intersect. We're going to work, or I'm going to show you a few examples of this on our geoboards. And if you were at school, you'd be able to do this as well. So let's say if I use my rubber band, I'm not going to make a shape today, I'm going to make a line. So here's my first line. Now to make it parallel, I have to go exactly the same direction, and they will be the same distance apart forever. No matter which way I turn my geoboard, those two lines are parallel. They will never intersect. It doesn't matter if one is shorter or longer than another, okay? I could do it like so. Got to kind of wrap it around this one. My rubber band's a little bit too big. There we go. Alrighty. If they were shorter or longer, that doesn't really matter. They're still parallel to one another, okay? So what does parallel mean? It means that they can keep going on forever and ever, and they will never intersect. They will never cross one another, okay? All right. I think you've been doing great on your work in general, so just keep it up. I haven't been checking your handwriting or your daily fact time tests that you do, have your families check those over though, and you be the teacher, okay? You make sure that you're always doing your best work and that everything looks really good, okay? All right, have a great rest of the day. If you have any questions, make sure you give me a holler and look for more information about spelling. I hope you're enjoying looking things up about the screaming eagle that I gave you a picture of this morning. See you soon.